technique and skill. So this is the third Michelin, or the third criteria for the Michelin Star. So for us, it's operational excellence as leadership discipline. And so I wrote this because in Sunday school, charisma can play a big part. And we're not talking about being charismatic in the religious sense, but being charismatic as a personality. So I put some people naturally have more charisma than others, but we need a path or a system or something of development for ourselves and for our team to help us connect with kids and to operate at like a high level. And so I think like bringing up Krista again. Today she did a really good job. We had her a few weeks ago. She was sweet, innocent JL. And then we turned her into Jezebel. So she's getting the full spectrum. And she did a good job today, but she did like this sassy little line, you know. And but the thing is, you couldn't hear her because she didn't have a mic. And so I told her, I said, next week, if I don't know if she'll have the main acting role, but she needs a mic. And so I said, I want you to get used to speaking in the mic because it is different, you know. Like I think we take it for granted. You're in the mic, you know, almost every service.
It's natural.
And I'm in the mic a lot, and so we don't think about it. But some people, they're scared to death of it. They're like, get that thing away from me. You know.
Well, I didn't have a mic today, so that's why I'm talking like in the basement, because if I try to talk any higher, it's gone. I tend
screaming.
to get I get a little nutty in Sunday school, and I scream and holler, and then I lose my voice. So
it's all
no,
for
that's
the
true. I know it's true. Like I know of people, like one person that always comes to mind when I think about this is there's some people, their personalities just attract people. And I always think of Austin Clark. You know, we grew up together coming to youth conferences, and I spent time at his house and had cow patty fights, and that was incredible. But he's just one of those people that just is so positive maybe behind closed doors he's not, but he just, I'm sure he is, but he's always positive, always smiling, always excited about life, about everything he does.
He's just always excited.
And that attracts people. And I'm not saying you have to like change who you are, because not everybody's wired that way, but there is value to that of having that personality to where people want to be around you, kids want to be around you, other leaders want to be around you, and it just creates like the path of development for ourselves just to be better. Well,
and in that path or system, or however we want to say it, it always comes back to culture. If we have a culture, like you said, we don't want fake personalities, but if we have a culture of where this is valued, you know, connection is valued, and where you know, being approachable and open with the kids and stuff, and if that's valued, then if somebody doesn't have those leanings and their personality is different, at least the culture is there, and so they might start to lean differently, you know, or change a little bit. It's kind of like somebody could be, you know, kind of be grumpy, you know, with their that's their disposition. But yet, if they're the right person on the bus, and you start developing them, and you have this culture in place, then it could change. And they might still be grumpy when they step out of Sunday school, but
but here,
you know,
it's very true.
And so the other thing I put and this is with technique and skill, is we talk about cutting edge all the time, and I think we should be cutting edge. But I think that with that cutting edge, we need to look at the fundamentals of what we do. So, you know, there are things that we do, and not that we have it all together at all by any means, but there's some things we do that others might point at and say, that's so cool, that's so awesome. Like we do these big, huge sets and everything. The decor is over the top. We do a lot of big acting scenes. And I would say to somebody that's striving maybe to go to the next level, if they're not doing that and they want to, or even if they don't want to, is it the fundamentals, meaning like connecting with kids, the altar service. If you don't have an altar service in your Sunday school, you should.
Absolutely.
That's one of those non-negotiables that we just think
what happened last week?
Oh yeah, yeah. We had 3 kids get the Holy Ghost. Yeah.
There you go.
So you need to have an altar service, and sometimes that sounds intimidating. You might have a class of 5 kids, and altar service sounds a little bit over the top. But even if you just call it
prayer meeting,
response to lesson prayer, prayer meeting. You know, so there's some non-negotiables, and if you can get those fundamentals, and I think even at our level, wherever that is, you know, but what we do. Like I've been working on that list, you know, of getting us better, and that's taking a step back. And I'm probably stomping on some notes. I just remembered I wrote something about this, but it's taking a step back and saying, how are we doing it on fundamentals? Mm-hmm. You know, like you think of basketball, doing the flashy spin around dunk. That's cool, and you know, keep doing it. Have it. It's there, but where's the fundamentals? Can you still shoot the 3-pointer?
Exactly.
You know,
you still guard.
Yeah.